Welcome, you guys. Welcome, badasses. I wanted to come on here and have a heart-to-heart conversation with all of you guys and share with you what can really happen for you in your life when you decide to go all in and commit to a better relationship with food. You know, when people ask me, like, what do you do? Like, what do you help people do? I will say that I help you improve your relationship with food. I help you rewire your brain so you no longer feel an urge to binge. I help you get back to eating like a normal person again. I help you stop eating when you're full. But when I actually dive a little bit deeper, the direct result of that is helping you feel like an unstoppable badass. There are so many people in this world who are running around anxious, stressed, having this perfectionist mindset. They're overwhelmed on a regular basis. They're taking life too seriously. They're people pleasing. They're burnt out. And a lot of this is because you aren't fully stepping into your inner badass. And what I mean by this is when you are struggling with your relationship with food, it doesn't actually feel like the real you. I remember when I was, binge eating and I was just eating way past fullness and food was on my mind 24/7, I didn't have confidence. I would say yes to whenever somebody would ask me to do something, yes. I had a very unhealthy relationship with rest, like taking time off or, just going for a massage during the week. I felt like I couldn't do that. I was on edge all the time. I was snappy all the time. I was irritable all the time. I didn't feel like a badass. I didn't even feel like the real me. I didn't feel like the real me. I felt like I was almost just kind of like just going through the motions. It felt like it was like Groundhog Day. It's like I would wake up in the morning, I'd, go to work, I'd do my workout, I'd eat my meals, I'd come home, I'd binge, I'd go to bed, wake up the next day, and the cycle would repeat itself. I didn't actually feel like the badass that I knew was within me. And so a lot of the times you are lacking confidence. You know that there's so much more within you. You're like, I know that I'm like this inner badass. I know that deep down I'm patient. Deep down I'm calm. Deep down I'm this loving person, but I don't feel that way because when you're binging, you don't actually feel like the real you. It's really hard to feel like an unstoppable badass when you have food thoughts 24/7, when you're people pleasing, when you lack boundaries. And so the work that I do with my clients, yes, I help you improve your relationship with food, but the direct result of that is you getting back to feeling like the real you, the unstoppable badass within you. There are so many people that are stressed and anxious and burnt out and overwhelmed because you don't know how to speak up for yourself. You don't know how to say no. You care so much about what other people think that you just say yes all the time. I am a recovering people pleaser. I'm a recovering perfectionist. It's interesting. I used to be such a massive perfectionist. I used to, anytime something in my day would not go as planned, I would literally freak the heck out. And it's interesting, this morning, we had somebody come over to our house to take care of our internet, just check a few things. And when they say, we'll be over anywhere between 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And I'm like, okay, does that mean 8 a.m.? Does that mean 8:30? Does that mean 9? Does it mean 9:30? And in the past, I'd be like, well, my whole day's ruined. you have to tell me the exact time because I need to know when I'm going to do my workout. I need to know when I'm going to have breakfast. I need to know when I'm doing my workout. What time are you coming? I need to know. I was like on edge all the time. And this morning I went for my walk. I had my breakfast and I'm like, whenever the guy comes. That's it. You can go with the flow so much more easily because you're not so like uptight all the time. You can just relax. You stop taking life so seriously. I don't know about you, but I never wanted to be someone that was on edge all the time. I didn't want to be this person who took life so seriously. Like, I wanted to be someone who can just go with the flow and like be calm and just enjoy life. I would see people that would not take life so seriously. They weren't this perfectionist. They would just be like chill. And I'm like, I want to be that person. But it's really hard to be this calm person who's patient, who can go with the flow when you're struggling with your relationship with food. It's really hard to be someone who no longer cares about what other people think about you when you're spending all day thinking about what you think about yourself. How do I look? How do I talk? Do these people like me? When you fall deeper in love with yourself, when you heal your relationship with food, you become this unstoppable badass who doesn't care what other people think about you. You love yourself so much, you're like, you can think whatever you want about me. I know who I am. I love who I am. You have this unshakable level of self-confidence. And when you have a deep level of self-love and self-confidence, this is when you set boundaries. Boundaries with family, boundaries with friends, boundaries at work. And as a direct result of setting better boundaries in your life, you're no longer overwhelmed. You're no longer burnt out. You're no longer stressed. And as a result of that, you're no longer coming home from work self-soothing with food, grabbing a pint of ice cream, because you're more chill. It's like this circle. The more you love yourself, the more confidence you have. And when you have confidence and you're able to show up to work and say, actually, no, I can't take on another project. Hey, actually, I know you want to meet up for coffee. I'm not available on Tuesday at 3:00, but what's going to work for me is Friday at 5:00. That would work for me. Does that work for you? You have the confidence, not just people please. You see yourself as this badass, and a badass doesn't just say, yes, no worries, I can take on that extra project, and then you're overwhelmed. Yeah, sure, we can do coffee today, and you actually don't have the time or capacity. You stand up for yourself. You stand up for yourself because you love yourself. And when you have those boundaries in place and you're speaking up for yourself, you're no longer people pleasing, you're not stressed. You're not overwhelmed. And then your relationship with food works itself out. You're using food to cope. You're turning to food. You're overeating because you're burnt out. You don't know how to say no. You're people pleasing. You feel bad telling your coworker that you can't take on an extra project, so you take on an extra project and then you're burnt out, you're overwhelmed, you're stressed. And then you're wondering why you ate so much last night. This is what I mean by becoming this badass. I want you to see yourself in a different lens. I want you to see your worth. Like, you are this incredible human being. And I know it's very hard to see yourself as like this badass when you're overeating and you're binge eating. Like, I remember when I was in that position, I was lacking confidence. I was overeating. I was eating way too many sweets every single night. And it was hard to I don't want to say see my value, because I always knew that I was like a valuable, worthy person, but it's hard to see yourself as this badass when you're doing things with food that don't feel like you. But you need to start seeing yourself the way that your husband sees you, the way that your friends sees you, the way that the people love you see you. Because when you see yourself differently, you respect yourself differently. When you see yourself as the most valuable person in the world, when you see yourself as this badass, you don't eat past fullness. Because you're like, I respect myself too much. Why am I going to make myself feel like crap? You have the boundaries in place so that when your coworker asks you if you can take on an extra project, if you actually can't, you have the confidence to say, I can't, because you respect yourself. Because you care about your time, your energy, your capacity. You don't just say yes to everything. There's too many people walking around lacking confidence, burnt out, stressed, using food to cope because they don't see themselves in the way that they need to start seeing themselves. I call my clients badasses because I want you to know that you are this unstoppable badass, whether you're struggling with binge eating or not, whether you're overeating or not. It's like, it doesn't matter. You are this badass, but you have to start seeing yourself that way. And when you start seeing yourself as like, wait, I'm this badass. A badass is someone who loves herself, which means I can't say yes to everything. A badass is someone who respects herself, which means when I'm full, I'm not going to keep on eating, because that's not self-respect. That's not self-love. Every time I overeat, that shows that like I don't really care about myself. But wait, I do care about myself. Healing your relationship with food is not just about stopping when you're full. It's not just that you can go out for dinner with your husband and order the pizza without guilt. Like, that's going to happen. But as a direct result of you healing your relationship with food, you see yourself differently. You truly feel unstoppable. You are so much more confident when you're meeting people new for the first time. Instead of wondering, like, what do they think about? What are they thinking about me? You're like, I know who I am. I love who I am. You've worked on yourself. You take care of yourself. You have the best habits. You have the best routines in place. When you know that you're taking such good care of yourself and you're respecting your body, you can show up so much more powerfully. You show up with so much more confidence in your relationships, when you're meeting people new for the first time, when you're going to work, when you're presenting something at work, you're more confident as a mom, as a partner. You stop comparing yourself to other people because you're like, I know who I am and I love who I am. That's the direct result. That's like the result of healing your relationship with food. The result of healing your relationship with food, yes, stopping when you're full, enjoying the ice cream guilt-free, being able to have a few pieces of chocolate without spiraling into a binge, that's fantastic. But the result of that is like, you actually feel like the real you. You're confident. You're happy. You're so much more joyful. I remember when I healed my relationship with food, people used to say to me, Lorna, like, how do you eat? Like, what diet are you following? And I'm like, I stopped dieting years ago. And they're like, but you look so good. Like, you're just glowing. Yeah, that's because I fell in love with who I am. That's because I actually started to feel like the real me. That's because I actually felt like a badass. People can feel your confidence, your joy from a mile away. And it's hilarious because they're going to think like, they're going to ask you like, what are you eating? Like, what are you doing for workouts? People used to ask me all the time, like, Lorna, what do you do for workouts? Like, what's your diet like? I'm like, I don't even focus on that. Like, yes, I work out. Yes, I take care of myself. Yes, I eat plenty of nutritious whole foods. Absolutely. But I fell in love with the woman that I am. I respect myself. I have boundaries in my life with friends, with family members, with clients. I respect myself. I don't people please. I let go of my perfectionist years ago. I don't have the all or nothing mentality anymore. I can go with the flow. I'm so much more calm, chill, relaxed. And this is when you actually feel like the real you, the real badass within you. Opportunities get presented to you and you say, heck yes, because you're confident enough to say yes to them. Instead of doubting yourself, I don't know if I can do that. You stop doubting yourself. You stop questioning your worth. You're like, I know who I am. I'm worthy of everything that I desire, I deserve. Healing your relationship with food goes so much more beyond the food. I've helped clients stop people pleasing. I had a client that I'm working with, and she used to care so much about what other people would think about her. Her friends would ask her to get pizza. And even if she didn't want it, she'd say yes. And then she'd have the pizza and she'd feel like crap because she just felt bad. She didn't want to hurt her friends' feelings, so she would just eat the pizza. And we turned that situation around. I said, you need to start seeing yourself as the most valuable human being and be confident enough to speak up for yourself. If you don't want that, speak up for yourself. And now she no longer just says yes to try to make other people happy and then make herself feel like crap. She's like, wait, a badass stands up for herself. A badass doesn't people please. So you know what? You guys can go ahead and get the pizza, but I'm actually good. If your friends want to hang out one weekend and you are literally so busy with work, you don't have the capacity, you don't have the time, you're allowed to say no. If work asks you to stay overtime, or if work asks you to do something and you're ready, like feeling super stressed, you can say no. And I know a lot of you guys are like so ambitious, like you feel bad saying no, but like I should be able to. Well, technically I can say yes to this extra project. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can, but are you going to be even more stressed? Are you going to be even more burnt out? If you want to stop your emotional eating, if you want to stop using food for comfort, if you want to stop using food because you're so overwhelmed and finally at the end of the day you have a chance to just chillax, if you want to stop doing that, that all starts with your ability to start saying no. Your ability to recognize that you are one human being. You can't do it all. You can't. You can't do it all. You might have the time, but you might not have the capacity. And when you start saying no, and you respect yourself in that, you're not going to have the desire to turn to food because you're not overwhelmed. You're not running around like a chicken with your head cut off because you have boundaries. You respect yourself. So come the end of the day, you're not like, oh my God, finally time to relax. Okay, give me all the food because I've been like nonstop all day. I've been giving to everybody else. Now I finally get to just like have time for myself and I'm just going to sit and eat. You don't need to do that when you have boundaries in place. You don't need to do that when you respect yourself. You stop people pleasing. You stop doing everything for everyone else and you fill up everyone else's cup and then your cup is empty at the end of the day. No more of that. That's not what a badass does. A badass is like, I'm freaking important. So I'm going to say no to things that don't serve me. I'm going to prioritize my mental health. I'm going to prioritize my mental well-being. And I'm going to start saying no more often. You're going to feel less anxious, less overwhelmed, less stressed, less burnt out. Your nervous system is going to start to relax. And when you don't have a high, jacked up nervous system, you're not going to be impulsive with food. You're not going to numb out on food. You're not going to overeat when you come home from dinner, from work, eating super fast, because I say this often, the pace of your life impacts the pace of your eating. And so if you slow down the pace of your life and you stop people pleasing, you stop saying yes to everyone and everything, you can slow down. You can be more present in your life. You're not eating super fast, standing up, hurry up, got 5 minutes before I go on to this next thing. You have more space. You're no longer this person who feels like I always need to be doing something all the time. You have a better relationship with rest. Like, you guys, this is not just, I want to improve my relationship with food so I can stop when I'm full. It goes so much more beyond that. I thought I just wanted to stop binge eating. I'm like, how the heck do I just have more control with food? But I realized it's so much more than that. I worked on my self-love. I stopped people pleasing. I healed my relationship with rest. I had better boundaries in my life. And that resulted in me feeling like the real me, like my confidence skyrocketed. Like I said, I had better boundaries. I had a better relationship with rest. And I stopped even having the desire to turn to food because I respected myself more. I saw myself as this badass who loved herself. That's the direct result of you healing your relationship with food. You become unstoppable. You see yourself differently. You see yourself the way that your husband sees you. You see yourself the way that your best friend sees you. You wake up and you're like boosting yourself up instead of tearing yourself down. You're like, you freaking got this, you badass. You're way more powerful over your urges. You're an incredible mom. You're the best at what you do. It's like you're boosting yourself up. You wake up every single day, you boost yourself up instead of tearing yourself down. Ugh, my coworkers know so much more than me. Ugh, I hate the way that this sweater looks on me. Ugh, I feel so bloated today. Oh my God, I ate so much last night. Instead of tearing yourself down, you build yourself back up. And I never forget the moment that I decided to heal my relationship with food. I said to myself, Lorna, you are doing this not to just heal your relationship with food. I thought about how many years I spent being an a-hole to myself, beating myself up. You're not good enough. You don't look like her. Oh, well, you didn't do your workout today. You failed. You should have done better yesterday. Why did you eat that chocolate? I wanted to improve my relationship with food, but most importantly, I wanted to develop an unshakable sense of self-love. I wanted to change the way that I was speaking to myself. I wanted to get back to feeling like the real me. That's why I healed my relationship with food. All the years that I spent, you're not good enough, you don't look like her, oh, you should have said no to the chocolate. You only did 10 minutes of your workout. You were supposed to do 30 minutes. Being so hard on myself, I didn't want to live life like that anymore. I wanted to be someone who was calm, grounded. Yes, have high standards for myself. Yes, take care of myself. Yes, improve my relationship with food, but I wanted to love who I was. I wanted to boost myself up. I wanted to feel good about myself. I wanted a level of self-confidence that I saw other people had. And that's what happened when I healed my relationship with food. There are so many opportunities that came to me as a direct result of healing my relationship with food. Because when you heal your relationship with food, what you're actually doing is healing your relationship with yourself. You see yourself differently. You love yourself. And when you love who you are, people can feel that. People are like, what are you doing differently? Like, people can tell that you're working on yourself. You're like, you're glowing. I had a client and she was so stressed out with work. She was changing careers. She was so stressed out with work. And people were still saying, like, you're glowing. Like, you just look so much happier. And she was going through this crazy transition, changing jobs, going from a very toxic job, changing jobs. But the reason that she was glowing was because she was doing this work. Behind the scenes, she was working on herself. She was healing her relationship with food. She was deepening her self-love. She loved herself so much to leave a toxic job. This is what I mean. Like, healing your relationship with food is healing your relationship with yourself. That's what it really is. And it feels so damn good to wake up in the morning and to boost yourself up, to feel this like deep sense of love for yourself instead of like every single moment of the day, you didn't do good enough today. You could have done better. You could have worked out for longer. You could have ate healthier today. Yeah, but you don't look like her. Like, instead of all that like negativity, it's like, I love who I am. I know who I am. You respect yourself. You have the boundaries. You say no to people pleasing. You're going to be less stressed. You're going to be less anxious, less overwhelmed. You're going to be a more calm parent, a more calm partner. You know, something that Andrew says to me all the time, he's like, you just have the ability to go with the flow. And I'm like, well, yeah, a lot has changed because I used to not be able to go with the flow. I would literally need to know every single plan. Not only was I meticulous about what I was eating, it's like if we had plans on Friday, what time are we going out for dinner? What's the restaurant called? What time are we meeting up with this person? Like, I needed to know every single detail. I was this perfectionist. I was on high alert all the time. And now I'm just like going with the flow because like life is like, why be so stressed out? Why be so uptight all the time? I don't want to be that person. I want it to be a calm partner. I want to be able to go with the flow. And when you love yourself, you can surrender, you can relax, you can trust. You don't need to be so meticulous all the time or uptight all the time. This is actually the direct result of healing your relationship with food. This is the direct result of stepping into your inner badass. I created an entire badass movement. Yes, I help my clients rewire their brain, become less impulsive with food, have this effortless relationship with food. But what my clients are actually doing is they're loving themselves. They feel like the real them. Like, it actually feels like the truth of who they are. There's nothing worse than like waking up every single day and showing up to work. And it feels like you're almost like putting on this front. You know, like maybe you're very successful at your job, but you're like, I'm so insecure. Maybe you're an amazing mom, but you're like, I actually doubt myself a lot. And like, how do I look in this outfit? Oh my God, I ate so much last night. Like, you can't feel like the real you when you're so in your head. You feel like the real you when you love yourself. I want to help you get back to feeling like the real you. The bubbly, fun, outgoing, calm, patient version of you. That's who you actually are. That's who you are deep down. But sometimes you forget who you really are because you're so in your head. Did I eat perfectly today? How do I look? Did I do a good enough job? Oh, I could be doing more. I could be doing this. Yeah, of course you can be doing more. Of course you can say yes to a million other things. You're one human being. When you get back to feeling like the real you, that's when you feel unstoppable. That's when you truly feel unstoppable. And that's what I love helping you do. There's there's no better feeling than waking up every single day being like, this is the true me. It's hard to feel confident when you're showing up to a social event and you feel like even the body you're in doesn't even feel like yours. How you're eating doesn't feel like you. You're like, why did I have the whole row of cookies? It stopped tasting good after 2. Why did I keep on eating? That doesn't feel like the real you. When you show up to work and you're doing a presentation and all you can think about is like, what are people thinking about my arms? What are people thinking about my stomach? How can you show up with confidence? Doesn't feel like the real you. It's like you're physically there and mentally you're thinking about like, what do people think about me? That doesn't feel like the real you. The real you is like, I know who I am. I love who I am. I'm delivering this presentation and I know that I'm so good at what I do. I'm not even thinking about my body. Like, it's this. That's what actually happens as a direct result of you healing your relationship with food. And so I have my Root and Rewire membership. This membership is all about helping you improve your relationship with food. You're going to learn all the tangible tools. You guys hear me talk about rewiring your brain 1,000,001 times, because when you rewire your brain, you no longer feel an urge to binge. When you rewire your brain, you can effortlessly stop when you're full. The food noise is no longer in your mind. And you're going to learn all of the tools, how to stop eating in secret, how to be able to enjoy 1 or 2 cookies without, spiraling into a binge. You're going to be able to get back in tune with your hunger and fullness cues so that no matter how delicious the food is, you just stop when you've had enough. That's going to happen. But as a direct result of that, you're going to feel like yourself again. You're going to have this unshakable level of self-confidence, this unshakable self-love. You're going to get back to feeling like the real you again. You're going to be in a body that feels like yours. You're going to be eating in a way that actually feels like you. Not like somebody has this remote control and is doing things with food that doesn't even feel like you. You're going to step into your inner badass, but you're like, I respect myself so much. I'm full. No thank you to dessert. I respect myself so much that when my coworker asks me, can I take on another project? And you're like, nope. You're going to have less stress. You're going to have less overwhelm. You're going to feel less anxious. You're going to be less burnt out. And as a result, you're going to stop your emotional eating because you no longer feel the need to self-soothe with food. You're going to get back to feeling like the real you again. And that is the greatest gift you can give yourself. And so with the Root and Rewire membership, yes, you're going to improve your relationship with food. You're going to learn all the brain-based tools to rewire your brain. You're going to get monthly coaching with me so that I can help you become less impulsive. You're going to be part of our incredible badass community. Will help you feel less alone so that you stop feeling like you're the exception of conquering binge eating. You feel like, wow, people actually get me. But you're going to feel empowered. You're going to feel like this badass. When a strong urge comes on, you're going to be like, nope, that's not who I am. And you're going to easily not give in. When you're at the restaurant and the food tastes so good and you just want to be like, I'm just going to finish the last little bit of pizza because I'm so used to cleaning my plate. You're going to be like, no, I'm a badass. I respect myself. I'm full. I will actually like a to-go box to take home. And I'll have the rest tomorrow. Like, you're going to feel that empowered. When you've had a long day at work and you normally want to say, F it, I don't care, I'm just going to eat because it's the only time I have for myself, you're going to say, no, that's not who I am. I'm actually going to unwind. I'm actually going to take care of myself. I'm this freaking badass. And badasses don't numb out with food. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a nice long hot shower. I'm going to make myself a nice hot cup of tea and I'm going to have the best night sleep ever. And then I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'll do my morning routine and I'm going to go for my walk and I'm going to feel incredible. That's actually who I am. And your life is going to radically transform. Not just your relationship with food, but your habits, your routines, your self-love. Like, this is the direct result. Now, it is actually the best time to join the Root and Rewire membership. So for a few different reasons. Number one, when you join the Root and Rewire membership right now, not only are you going to completely transform your relationship with food, you're going to learn the Root and Rewire process to rewire your brain out of the restrict binge cycle. Like, you're going to be someone who can actually say, I eat like a normal person. Like, I finally eat normally again. I'm not even thinking about food. That's going to happen. But you're also going to get access to my program, Eliminate Your Urges, that starts at the end of the month. You're only going to get this program when you join the membership now. So this program, Eliminate Your Urges. I talk about urges all the time, right? When you feel like this compulsion of like, I need to eat right now. There's different types of urges. There's binge urges, mindless snacking urges, overeating urges, emotional urges. Whatever type of urge you're experiencing, I want to help you no longer feel an urge to binge. I want to help you know how to easily say no to your urges no matter how strong they feel. And so this is a program. It's a 14-day program. You're going to get access to this when you join the membership. It's daily audio trainings that you're going to know how to not give in to your urges, how to feel way more powerful over your urges, how to stop the emotional urges so you can actually process your emotions without needing food to self-soothe, how to be able to feel so confident baking without eating the whole container of muffins that you've just made for yourself. You're going to be less impulsive. You're going to regulate your nervous system. You're going to be able to be home alone. It can be late at night. You can be traveling. It doesn't matter. You don't feel an urge to binge anymore. I'm literally the queen of this. I haven't felt an urge to binge, mindlessly snack, emotionally eat in over 5 years. And that's because I knew how to stop giving in. When you stop giving into your urges, no matter how strong they feel, they eventually stop popping up. And so you're going to get access to that program as a bonus. Now, the other reason why it's the best time to join the Root and Rewire membership right now is because the holidays are around the corner. We have Halloween coming up. There's going to be a bunch of sweets at the office. Maybe if you have kids, they're going to bring home a crap ton of chocolate and candy. We have Thanksgiving coming up in the States. There's Christmas. There's going to be so many social events coming. And inside of the Root and Rewire membership, I'm doing a holiday challenge where essentially you're going to be able to actually walk into the holidays this year excited, present, calm with your loved ones, knowing how to enjoy all of the delicious food, how to enjoy your Aunt Becky's apple pie without losing control, how to be able to navigate all the delicious foods that you normally don't have. It comes around once a year, but you're so in tune with your hunger and fullness cues, and no matter how many sweets there are, you would pick up the sweets that you want and you leave the rest. There's no all or nothing mentality. There's no, oh, but like I overate yesterday, so I'm just going to overeat today and then start January. I'm going to start fresh. There's none of that. You're not even going to be thinking about food this holiday because you're going to be so present with your family, calm with your family. I want you to have the best holiday ever. I want you to go into the next few months feeling so empowered over your food choices. You're not worrying about like, what is my mom going to say about the way that I look? I haven't seen my aunt in so long. Oh my gosh, she's probably going to make a comment about the way that my body looks. I'm going to help you navigate it all. Comments from loved ones, all the delicious foods that might be triggering for you, like how to be able to enjoy them with full control. How to not even think about food. Like you just walk into a social event, you're so present with your loved ones. You're not thinking about, oh my God, how much should I eat? Should I say yes to the dessert? Should I not? You're going to be confident walking into every single social event. You're going to walk out of every single social event feeling satisfied, not overly full, because of what I'm teaching you inside. The only way to get access to this holiday challenge is by being inside of the Root and Rewire membership. So you're going to learn all the tools. You're going to have the best holiday ever. Last year, man, my clients were like, this is the first Christmas ever that I didn't binge. This was the first Christmas ever that I actually felt so present with my family. This was the first Christmas ever I was able to bake Christmas cookies with my daughter without going overboard. Like, you're going to have these memories that are going to last you a lifetime. And that's just one perk of being inside of the Root and Rewire membership right now. I want to help you end this year off with a bang so that you walk into 2026 and while everyone else is talking about, oh my God, I need a diet, oh my God, I need to lose weight, you're like, I feel so good in my own skin and I haven't even dieted since forever. You can't even remember the last time you dieted. You're feeling so good with your relationship with food. You feel amazing in your own skin. You're glowing. You love yourself. You feel like the real you. You're going to be strutting into 2026. Like, you're going to have this glow to you. You're going to have so much joy. People are going to ask you, like, what are you doing? And little do they know, you're just like, I'm just working on myself. Meanwhile, you're feeling like this badass. You're loving the woman that you are. You're eating normally again. And you're going to feel like the true version of yourself. So I'm so excited for people joining the Root and Rewire membership. Like I said, this is the best time to join. If you want to be able to eat like a normal person again, you got to be inside. If you want to learn how to become less impulsive, you got to be inside. If you want to know how to easily not give in to your urges, no matter how strong they feel, you got to be inside. If you want to fall in love with who you are, you need to be inside. If you want to be part of a community or badass movement of other women who are just as committed as you are to heal their relationship with food, they're going to help you feel less alone. You got to be inside. And if you want to have the best last few months of this year, going into the holidays with confidence that you can eat all the delicious food without overeating, without overdoing it, without thinking about, oh my gosh, I have to burn this off tomorrow. Like, if you want to be that badass, this is the perfect time to jump inside. So this is a 6 or 12 month program. I created it to be 6 or 12 months because I love working with women who are committed, not just for a month. Let me just try it for a month. That's not the vibe. You're serious about conquering binge eating. You're serious about healing your relationship with food. And you know that it goes beyond that. You're like, yeah, I want to fall in love with myself. I want to have more confidence. Yeah, I want to eat like a normal person. I never want to be spending the rest of my life thinking about food. I am so committed. I really want to do this for real. I don't want to just do something for a month. I am so committed. The membership is for you at 6 or 12 months. So you can message me membership and I will send you all of the details. This is the best time to join. We have the Eliminate Your Urges program that's starting at the end of the month. You're getting that included inside of the Root and Rewire membership when you join now. And you're also going to get access to our holiday challenge that's going to be only part of the membership. The only way you can join the holiday challenge to have a binge-free holiday, binge-free Halloween, binge-free Thanksgiving, binge-free Christmas is by joining the Root and Rewire membership. So you can message me membership and I'll send you all the details. I cannot freaking wait. I am so committed to you. I am so committed to helping you transform your relationship with food. And if you are just as committed, you're going to be a perfect fit to join inside. So I cannot wait. I will see you inside. Any questions, DM me, but message me membership and I'll share all the details with you. So have a fabulous rest of your day, badasses. And I will see you soon. Okay, bye.